Anyway, this is the Trump town hall. Apparently, there was a bunch of medical emergencies, and at some point, he stops taking questions. And at that point, they just listen to music, and it gets really awkward. And people were calling him Dementia Don. So I want to see this for myself, what actually happened. So I'm going to go ahead and let it roll.
Listen, I love the fact that in my state, we uphold the Constitution. In fact, our state motto is under God, the people rule. But it's so fantastic to be here in the city where the Constitution was actually written, right?
Who is she?
And I know that you all embrace being the city of brotherly love, but I'm going to get real with you right here. Kamala
I've been chilling and not surfing. Yeah, me too. This is my day off. I just sit here and it's going to stream.
Harris sucks, right? She sucks.
She sucks.
And listen,
okay.
If there's one thing that I've learned since being governor is that leadership has consequences, that it matters who's in
Okay, she's the governor. That makes more sense.
charge, and it impacts every single family, every single business in the state when you have the right person in the White House and the wrong person in the White House. Listen, I have served as governor under Joe Biden and under President Donald Trump.
So she's probably going to bring out Trump in a minute. She's just giving her intro.
Yes. And when President Trump was in the White House, I got to get up every single day and be on offense. I got to go out there and solve problems for my people. I got to be aggressive and help them grow their incomes. In fact, in South Dakota, we have the fastest growing incomes in the entire country. We have the lowest unemployment rate in the country. During COVID, we were the only state in the country that never once shut down a single business. We never mandated anything. In fact, I didn't even define what an essential business was because I don't believe that the government has the ability or the authority to
Kristi Noem, never heard of her.
tell you that your business isn't essential. We were the only state to never take the elevated unemployment benefits because I said, listen, Mr. President, our people want to work. And they did. They went to work every single day. And listen, we broke the national record for the lowest unemployment rate in the history of the United States of America because people in South Dakota understand we were created to serve each other.
I don't know if that's really a win. She's bragging about taking lower unemployment benefits. I can tell you in Florida, you only get like 3,000. That's the max, which doesn't even cover shit, you know, because you're only getting a certain percentage every 2 weeks, and it's not even close to that. Hey, who do you think will win in 2 months? I have no idea, man. Last time I looked at the polls, it was showing Kamala was leading. A lot of people love Trump, though, so we'll see. Some people think polls are bullshit anyway. Some people tell you to go to that crypto poll, which I don't think is legit at all. Who do I want to win? I'm probably going to vote for Trump, just being real with you. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Kamala.
In our state, we banned China from owning our land. And we passed the strongest bill in the nation to make sure that only women could play in women's sports.
Go back to that gender sports thing. There it is again.
And when President Trump gets back in the White House,
she's bragging about turning down federal money. Yeah, which I don't get why she's bragging about that. Like when it came to unemployment, at least, you know.
he is going to make sure that we don't have mediocre men taking away opportunities from our exceptional women.
I get that Republicans are going to have this, oh, everybody needs to pull themselves up by the bootstraps, blah, 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 blah. We shouldn't be giving out all this federal money for unemployment. But, you know, unemployment's there for a reason. It really is. And it's not a lot of money, especially for the amount of money that you probably pay into it. It's not a very big safety net. You're better off taking that money for yourself and investing it, keeping a nest egg for yourself and not giving it to the government. But if the government's going to take my money, I expect it to be there. That's what I can tell you. So her champion turning down all this federal money for unemployment kind of makes her look like a loser. It just makes me look like I'm getting screwed twice.
So listen, I've got people in my life that I admire. And tonight you're going to get the chance to hear from one of them. President Trump is somebody that I appreciate for his fight, his tenacity, his wisdom, and his ability to get things done. He's a deal maker, and he never loses sight of the American people. I'm going to tell you something. When I first saw him announced for president in 2016, I watched him on TV. I was sitting at home, come down a golden escalator. Do some of you remember that? I remember sitting there and thinking, who does that? Who comes down a golden escalator? Because the politicians that I had known, what they do when they're going to run for office is they go put on a pair of jeans and they go find themselves a barn and maybe a hay bale. And they say, golly shucks, geez, I'm just like you, right? And pretend to be somebody that they're not. But not President Trump. He was going to be honest with you and genuine.
I think Kamala will win. Why do you think that? What facts are you leading to make you think that? He's streaming right now looking for a fight. Thank you, Cliff. Thank you for what?
With you. And here is the situation, and here is the truth. He doesn't think he's any better than you. All those politicians that run and pretend to be something else, they think they're better than you. They think they're smarter than you, and that they can sell you a line and a story, and that's not President Trump. President Trump is himself. He's fighting for you. He's fighting to protect you and your family, and he loves this country. He loves this country. People ask me, we love Trump. We love Trump.
Apparently they love Trump.
We love Trump. He's listening to you right now. He's listening to you, and he hears you. And he hears you. Listen, everybody, let's get right to it. Please welcome the 45th president
here he comes.
and the 47th president of the United States, Donald John Trump.
Oh, that music, though. They try to get me with the copyright claim, but I'm too quick. Too quick. Even after 4 days of not streaming, I still got it. Can I skip ahead? Where is he? Yeah, skip ahead a little bit. Come on, you old man. Get out here. Where are you? There he is. About the safety net issue. Yeah, man, if I could opt out of unemployment, then I would consider what she's saying a win. But if I have to pay it and it doesn't provide for me, then that's me losing twice, right? So what's she talking about? It makes no sense at all. What? Okay, yeah, he's looking a little weird there. Yeah, for sure. I don't know, he's dancing. Let's see what's going on with this dude. He's out of fresh diapers. People said he acted really weird in this one.
Thank you, bro.
So I want to see what's going on.
It's a nice crowd.
And I'll be honest, when they said that he stopped the questions, I kind of thought that maybe he had an accident or something. You know, like, you know, people have diarrhea sometimes.
Protects them.
Maybe.
You know what else? They fight for themselves, and they've been fighting for a long time, and we're going to make your fight easier. It's very important. We'll make it easier. Because what's happened to our country in the last almost 4 years now, it's hard to believe, but if you look at the borders, if you look at inflation, you look at the Afghanistan disaster, the most embarrassing time in the history of our country. I think the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, Afghanistan, the way they did, not getting out, I was getting out with dignity, strength. The way they got out was the most embarrassing thing that ever happened. Probably led to Putin going into Ukraine. Probably, he looked at it, he said, these people aren't very good, are they? He would have never done that with me. So, you know, we're all in this together. We got to win the election November 5th.
Yes. And, sir, he has never yet called those Gold Star families to express his grief for the people and the soldiers that we lost that day. And who controls that airstrip now?
China.
China. Yes.
The evil China.
No, they have, you know, China took off. And one of the things, get out, we were there like for 20 years. I said, what are we doing here? So we get the hell out. But, you know, I had a talk with the Taliban, and We didn't lose one soldier in 18 months until this catastrophe happened when they took over. But, you know, one of the things aside from everything else, we spent billions of dollars years ago to build a big air base. And you knew that one from your own time.
Yes, I did.
A big one, a really good one.
He's supposed to take questions in this, so that's really what I'm going for.
Powerful runways, long runways. And you know what happened? I'll tell you, they gave it up. And it was 1 hour away from where China built, forget about Afghanistan, 1 hour away from where China builds its nuclear weapons. Would have been very nice to have. And China now occupies that air base. So it's terrible. It's terrible.
It is. Mr. President, as you can see, we've got a lot of American patriots here tonight who want to ask you some questions.
Good.
If you don't mind, we'll move into that portion of the town hall tonight. Let's go to our first question. Our first question is going to be from a man named Reed. And Reed, I'm not certain where you are.
Let's do it. Hopefully they got mics for these
Reed?
people.
There he is. Hi, Reed.
There he is, over there.
Nice looking guy.
And Reed, I believe you're a Navy SEAL, correct?
No.
Okay, I got that wrong. All right, thank you very much.
Good evening, Mr. President. My name is Reed.
Hi, Reed.
I'm a single father and Iraq War veteran. I dream of owning a home for me and my son, but mortgage rates under the Biden-Harris administration have made that impossible. What can you do to help make home ownership affordable again?
All right, good. It's a great question. And a lot of people have this question.
Why is he reading from a cue card?
First of all, it's too expensive to build the homes, and they're building them, and they cost a fortune. And 30% of the cost in some locations is the cost of like planning and certificates and a lot of nonsense they do. They make you go through hell. It takes years to get them, zoning approvals, all of the approvals you need. We're going to get rid of a lot of that. But most importantly, we're going to get interest rates brought way down. You know, we had interest rates at 2%, and now they're 10% and you can't get the money. We had 2% and there was plenty of money for everybody. And, you know, I call the whole...
Trump's looking really awkward in that chair. I don't know if it's just me, but just the way he's sitting's a little bit weird.
Part of the American dream. We're going to create the American dream for young people and for older people, too, by the way. We're not going to forget. I mean, I happen to be a very young man, but we're not going to forget the older people. We're not going to forget the older people. By the way, no tax on Social Security benefits for the older people. For those.
Which is ridiculous. I can't believe they really tax Social Security as income. It's messed up.
I guess, you know, somebody said, oh, he's got a conflict of interest because he benefits by that. I'll give mine up if you want. I save tax. But no, we're going to do that for the older people. That's a big deal because you've been eaten alive with inflation. And all I'm doing is getting you back to even. I think when we do that, we're probably just getting you, you know, you have fixed income and you went up numbers like 30, 40, 50, depending on what they include. You know, they like to say it was a 20% increase. It wasn't. It was 30, 40, and 50, depending on what they want to include. So we're going to do that. But Reed, getting back to you, we're going to drill, baby drill. We're going to have so much energy. And we're going to bring prices down because, you know, your prices are up. Don't forget, the damage is done. We have the worst president and the worst vice president in the history of our country by far. And let me tell you, she is worse than him. And he's actually, I didn't think I'd ever say this about anybody. She's actually, you take a look at it, she's more dangerous than him, but he's actually smarter than her. I never thought I'd say that. I never thought I'd say that. But look, we're going to get it down. We're going to drill. We're going to get the energy down. When the energy comes down, prices are going to come down. All of that prices, because, you know, when they say, oh, although they had very bad inflation numbers last month, you saw that. Very, very bad inflation numbers, despite the big, you know, they did this big drop, probably too big a drop. I'm not going to get into that. But we're going to get the prices down because the damage has been done. If we had no inflation now, such damage has been done. The highest, in my opinion, the biggest inflation in the history of our country. They didn't include a lot of the bad numbers. I'll give you an example. On housing and on different things, like crime statistics are fake. They were fake statistics. They didn't include some cities that were really bad. So the crime looked like it was just bad as opposed to being horrific. Jobs, 818,000 fake jobs they added. And they padded the job numbers a couple of months ago so that they'd look better on jobs. 818, they were fake. They were fraudulent jobs, and they thought they'd announce the real numbers after the election. But we had a whistleblower or somebody that let it out. So they cheated us on 18. Think of that. 800.
Inflation is actually way, way down. I don't know what he's talking about. They're showing 2.4%, which is way better than what it was previously. They were showing like 2.9%. Right now, as of September, 2.44. So not terrible. That's what we're used to. Obviously, prices are still going to be increased because it's just getting back to baseline, your average inflation. But inflation is mostly back to normal.
118,000 jobs. They cheated. You know, usually when you have those numbers, it's 9,000 jobs off it. This is almost 1 million jobs off. It's not even possible. So we're going to bring things, and Reed, you're going to buy that house and you're going to pay 2.5%, 3% interest. And you're going to say, I love this guy. Because interest rates, Reed, will follow as the energy goes down. And I made another commitment. I made it over the last month. I've been making it. We have more liquid gold under our feet than Saudi Arabia, than Russia, than any other country. I'm going to bring down your energy costs 50% in the first year. 50%. And I better do it because I'm all over the place saying I'm going to have problems if I don't get it done. But we have all the capacity to do it. Nobody else can make that statement. We have so much energy, we don't even use it. We get energy from Venezuela. They don't have good oil. You know, they have tar. They have tar that you have to liquefy. And you know where they do it? In Houston, Texas, because that's where we have the plant. It's the only plant in the world that can do it. We do it in Houston. So for the environmentalists out there, this is not a pretty picture, what flows into the air, right? But we're going to use our beautiful liquid gold. And when we get everything else down, houses, everything's going to come. It's going to be beautiful. You're going to have a house. Just wait a little while. Give me a little while. Let me get in. 1 year from January 20th, we will have your energy prices cut in half all over the country.
Thank you. And Mr. President, in reference to Reed and his family, he's not in a unique situation. 65% of Americans today cannot buy a home. That has dramatically changed under the Biden-Harris administration, and Kamala Harris has embraced the policies that made home ownership disappear and take away that opportunity from Reed and his family, and 65% of Americans today. Listen, the American dream is still to own your own home. And now that is not possible because of what they've embraced. And you talk about liquid gold. If any state understands liquid gold and American energy, it's Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Take it you haven't seen his Univision event? Maybe not. What happened there?
The Commonwealth.
The Commonwealth.
Make sure,
the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
By the way, this is a really great governor, very successful governor. She read some of the numbers. And I thought she would, because why not? Nobody else will do it, but I will.
I did it
because
fast.
I do it for my friends. No, you did it beautifully,
Fast.
too. She has done a fantastic job as governor. And I will say this. I went to school here. I just want to forewarn her, because I've seen it happen and it's career threatening. Don't ever call it a state. It's a Commonwealth. And I was saying,
Lesson learned.
Has somebody, because a lot of innocent lambs have come up and they start talking to the people of Pennsylvania. I love you people. I know you so well. I'm here all the time. But yeah, I went to school here. I went to the Wharton School, the great Wharton School of Finance. And they were great. It's a great place. But I went to college here. So never, ever even think. I watched one man crash and burn. He kept calling.
Probably the worst event of the season. Dude, what happened? I didn't hear anything about that.
At the state, I kept saying it's a Commonwealth. And by the time the evening, I think his political career ended there. So
Sir,
go ahead.
Tonight we have some special guests in the audience. We have a Gold Star family that is with us tonight. Mary and Charles Strange are here. Where are they?
Where are they?
Oh, here they are. Sir, they're behind us over here.
I bet he wish he had canceled. Let me see. This is from Rolling Stone. It says, Univision town hall participants unimpressed with arrogant Trump. When was this? This must have been while I was working. This was published the 18th today. So was this something that happened this week? What is this ad doing? Undecided Latina voters who participated in Donald Trump's Univision town hall on Wednesday were left deeply unimpressed by former president. 3 participants in the event expressed their frustration over Trump's failure to answer them directly or explain his policy proposals in interviews with Rolling Stone. 2 of them indicated that their experience with the former president has solidified their decision to vote for his opponent, Kamala. Okay, what happened? This guy said he was very disappointed in Trump's performance. During the town hall, he asked the former president about his frequent invocation of conspiracy theories, and he truly believes the false claims he's been spreading about Haitian migrants. And if he truly believes. Okay. Trump responded by doubling down on his unfounded accusations that migrants in the town are eating local pets. I wasn't amazed by any of his answers. His rhetoric hasn't changed, he said, adding that he didn't vote for Trump in 2016 or 2020. I heard the things he was saying about us Mexicans. He's let it go now because he's now going after the poor Haitians. But during the first campaign, he painted us as rapists, diseased people, anything you can think of. All right, interesting. Was this a live event? Is this something that I can watch? Sarah Gould added how the audience was surprised by Trump's attitude, his answers describing the former president as totally disingenuous and arrogant. What's this thing called? Univision Town Hall. Let me see if I can find this bad boy.
Here to
come
the
on
left.
up here. Come on.
They lost their son, Michael.
Come on up.
Come on up here.
It's a little harder to get up since I got shot. They've made it more difficult. Perhaps that's the way it's supposed to be.
Sir, they lost their son, Michael.
President Trump, great to see you again, buddy. Still Team 6 is the gold. That's beautiful. Under Obama, all 30 guys died.
Did you want to say anything?
Under Obama is right. Under Obama. Please, on behalf of your son.
I would ask, Mr. President, my son was killed August 6, 2011 with 29 other men. It was the biggest loss of life in the Iraq and Afghan war.
Yeah.
It was the biggest loss of life in a single day in the history of America. 22 of them men were Navy Special Warfare. Till to this day, we still haven't gotten any answers. I was wondering, I'm begging you, we would like a congressional hearing.
So here's what we're going to do. In the first week, let me have it, not the first day, because I made a lot of promises in the first day. We're going to drill, baby, drill. We're going to close up the border. We're going to do a lot in the first day. In the first week, we will set up a commission. We're going to find out, because so many people in your same position, they want to know what happened. Why did it happen to their son or daughter? And we're going to do that within the first week. So you get ready to come over to the White House, okay?
Thank
All right?
you, Mr. President. I gotta say one more thing. I want to let America know, June 2017, President Trump and his wife had me and my wife bring 20 gold stars to the White House. Him and his wife stayed the whole time. They had food, drinks. They did a candle ceremony for us. President Trump stood up every time, saluted the Gold Star parents.
That was both a celebration, a remembrance. It had all emotion, right? They were happy, they were sad, they were devastated, but they remembered their beautiful boy, right?
Yes.
Their beautiful boy, and we're not going to forget. We're going to find out what happened. We're going to do that within the first week, and you have my word. Okay?
Thank you, President Trump.
Good night. Good night.
Participate in the public.
Yeah, I got the video. I'm probably going to watch it tomorrow. That's going to be my thing for tomorrow. Check it out because it's like an hour long too. I'm going to save it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr.
What a
President.
nice couple.
Hopefully they don't try to copyright strike me on it though.
Mary and Charles' daughter, Rachel, is also here tonight. She is Michael's sister, so thank you, Rachel, for coming tonight, too, and God bless you and your family. Thank you for your service and your sacrifice.
Thank you, Don.
Yes,
Thank you, honey.
It's definitely on the
It's
agenda.
tough stuff.
it is. Thank you for your commitment to...
And like what we were discussing in Afghanistan with the 13 family members, they feel that bad things happen, stupid things happened, and you hate for that to be, and it's your son or your daughter.
They
There's
deserve
no reason.
answers.
It should have never happened in Afghanistan, I can tell you that, the 13 that died. And you know, they don't mention there were many people wounded too, and I mean seriously wounded with the legs and the arms and the face. And we're going to give them everything they want. I've gotten it.
That's so awkward, man. He said everybody was wounded with the legs and the arms and the face. Like, what is he doing?
Know those families. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Sir, our next question tonight is from Angelina, who I believe is right here. If you want to come forward, Angelina.
Hi, Angelina.
Hi. Good evening, Mr. President.
Let me stand up for you. Go ahead.
My name's Angelina, and I was raised in a Philadelphia Democrat household, a union household. As a mother of a blended family, my top issues are the same issues that face all Americans. Illegal immigration hurts Black Americans. Inflation hurts Black Americans. And dangerous cities hurt Black Americans. Like my fellow Americans, my grocery bill has not gone down. Everything is still so very expensive. What steps will your administration take to help American families suffering from this inflation?
So, you know, it's such a great question in the sense that people don't think of grocery. You know, it sounds like not such an important word when you talk about homes and everything else, right? But more people tell me about grocery bills, where the price of bacon, the price of lettuce, the price of tomatoes, they tell me. And we're going to do a lot of things. You know, our farmers aren't being treated properly. And we had a deal with China, and it was a great deal. I never mentioned it because once COVID came in, I said that was a bridge too far, because I had a great relationship with President Xi. And he's a fierce man, and he's a man that likes China, and I understand that. But we had a deal, and he was perfect on that deal. $50 billion he was going to buy. We were doing numbers like you wouldn't believe for the farmer. But the farmers are very badly hurt. The farmers in this country, we're going to get them straightened out. We're going to get your prices down. But you asked another question about safety and also about Black population jobs and Hispanic population, in particular those two. So when millions of people pour into our country, they're having a devastating effect on Black families and Hispanic families more than any others. I think it's going to spread to a lot of other places. I think it's going to spread to unions. I think unions are going to have a big problem because, you know, employers are just not going to pay the price. They're going to, and it's a very bad thing that's happening. So they're coming in, many are coming in from jails and prisons and mental institutions.
So far, nothing different than how he normally acts, but at some point, I guess he just drops off and doesn't take any more questions. But it looks like the entire time here, he's taking questions. At some point, he just starts swaying to the music like a weirdo.
Insane asylums, that's like, you know, a step above, right? A insane asylum. And whenever I go, Hannibal Lecter, you know what I'm talking about. They always go the fake news. That's a lot of fake news back there, too. But,
wow.
They always mention, you know, it's a way of demeaning. They just say, Hannibal Lecter, why would he mention? Well, you know why? Because he was a sick puppy. And we have sick puppies coming into our country. I figure that's a lot.
He only takes 3 questions. I think this is the 3rd question then. So maybe after this one.
That's better than wasting a lot of words. You just say Hannibal Lecter. We don't want to, but they always sort of say, why would he say that? I do it for a lot of reasons, but I do it because we are allowing some very bad people into our country, and they're coming as terrorists. You know, you saw the other day, last month, they had the record number of terrorists. I had a month, and I love Border Patrol. Did you see they gave me a full endorsement 2 days ago? Border Patrol. The Border Patrol. And they're great. And, you know, they want to do their job. They don't want to let these people come in. They look at them. They can tell. They can look at somebody, say good, bad. They say what's coming into our country now, it's having a huge negative.
I can't express how much I detest this dude. I know you hate him. Hate him with a passion.
Negative impact on black families and on Hispanic families and ultimately on everybody. And we're going to close that border so tight.
She seems a little uncomfortable being next to him.
It's going to be closed. And I said the 2 things I'm going to do. First, we're going to close that border, and people are going to come in. You want people to come in. We need people to come in. People are going to come into our country legally. You know, it's so unfair. You have people that are waiting on a system, on a line, and they've been waiting in this line, you know how long? For years, 10 years, 12 years, and they study and they take tests, and then people come. I actually say, why don't you just just come on across. I tell people that it's terrible, right? I said, go out. You're incredible. They say, what can I do to speed up the process? I say, you know what? Go to the southern border. I'll see you on the other side. It's so unfair. But we're going to have them come in legally. You have to see what they have to do. They take tests on, you know, who was the first one here? What date was this? What does 1776 mean? All this stuff. And these other people are coming in, and they're affecting the school systems, and they're affecting the hospital system. I mean, if you take a look at what's going on in Springfield, Ohio, a town of 50.
Wait till the music starts. She looks confused AF. Oh, I'm ready. She's already looking like kind of awkward. Like, this is weird. Just ready. I'm just here for the cringe to see it just go off, you know?
50,000 people. They've just added 32,000 people, illegal immigrants, and we're not going to put up with it, and we're going to take care of your costs are going to come
Well, they took her mic
down. And you're not going to have a problem with, because the biggest problem, and I'm hearing it from black people, and to a lesser extent right now, but it'll be the same, Hispanic people. And I'll tell you what, our poll numbers have gone through the roof. With black and Hispanic have gone through the roof. And I like that. I like that. I like that. So we're going to take care of it. You will be... I'll tell you, if everything works out, if everybody gets out and votes on January 5th or before, you know, it used to be you'd have a date. Today you can vote 2 months before, probably 3 months after. They don't know what the hell they're doing. But we're going to straighten it all out. We're going to straighten that out, too. We're going to straighten our election process out, too. That's going to be important also. So thank you very much, darling. We're going to get it straight. Thank you.
Thank you, Angelina.
All right, here we go.
Mr. President, we had in the last year over 800,000 Americans lose their jobs in this country.
They're still going with questions.
1.2 non-citizens took those jobs. They're filling the jobs that Americans could have to provide for their families. And Kamala Harris has been in charge of this border. She is the one who has been the border czar who has facilitated this invasion. I've always called it an invasion and a war zone down there because we see the criminals and the terrorists coming across.
It is an invasion like we've never seen before. And you know, if it was an invasion of people that deserve to come in or that will love the country, will be great. You know, she used to go around saying, they don't commit crime. Have you seen the gang from Venezuela, what they've done in Aurora, Colorado?
But it's only a few, according to Martha Raddatz.
It's only
according to Martha Raddatz. Oh, it's just a few apartment buildings.
And by the way, it's hundreds all over the country, and they're like me. They're in the real estate business, but they take it over with rifles. They take it over with a level of sophistication, because you know a lot about guns from where you come and you like it. And I'm a big protector of the Second Amendment. We've gotten totally endorsed. And if you think that's easy, it's not easy. But the NRA gave me total endorsement. I assume you got total endorsement. We have no choice. We have to have it. I mean, especially when you have, you know, it's amazing. These radical left lunatics, They want everybody to come into our country. Many of those people are criminals, and then they want to also take your guns away simultaneously. So they don't want your guns, but they want them to come in. So you need it for protection. You know, if somebody knows that you have a gun in your house, they say, let's go after somebody else. People put signs under this gun, or we have, some of them actually spell the kind of a gun they have. We have an AK-47 inside. And people say, you know what, let's just, and I knew about an AK-47 from a few weeks ago. And the AR-15, I know about that one too. I know a lot. But you know what? You have a lot of bad people out there, and you can't, you know, it just can't be a one-way street. You know one thing, because she wants to take your guns away, if you take them away, the bad guys are not giving them up. That's the only thing. I don't think the good people are giving them up either, you want to know the truth. But the bad guys are not giving up their guns. That's the only thing I know for certain, right?
It's true. You're true. Your J.D. Vance did a fantastic job on Sunday morning,
Is he
calling
doing
out
a
the
good
fake
job?
news. Yes. For how they're trying to diminish the devastation that's going on in some of these communities. And Kamala Harris has facilitated losing 300,000 children as well since she's been in charge of the border. I always say that they're not missing children, that they are trafficked and kidnapped and murdered children because they've come across that border and we have no idea where those children are. And we know how devastating it is, what's happening to their lives right now with what she's facilitating.
I think that, you know, all bad numbers, we have a lot of bad numbers. There's so much bad happened in this administration. It's disgraceful. You know, as an example, there'd be no war with Russia and Ukraine. There's no way I get along very well with Putin. I fully understand what's happening. It was the apple of his eye. He used to talk about it. But I said, you're not going in. And he wasn't going in. It's only because of Biden. He looked at this guy. He can't even believe it. But the same with Ukraine. I got along very well with Zelensky, very well. In fact, he came to New York.
I'm going to fast forward and see if it happens.
And I got along very well with him. I'm going to negotiate that thing out.
Let's go here.
I love it. I love it. So, Mr. President, let's get back to our questions.
There we go.
We have Yanni, who's waiting to ask you a question, has been waiting a long time. Yanni,
Yanni.
welcome. Just give him 1 second.
They said the mic's off.
Here they come. Right behind you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here today, Mr. President.
Thank you.
To answer questions from all the voters of Pennsylvania and just to work hard and show support. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I'm a small business owner in Lansdale. I have a small breakfast, lunch restaurant, Coffee Corner. And to be honest, Mr. President, I really, am praying for you to get in there and change the policies. Ever since the gas prices started spiking, I noticed literally everything started spiking, from deliveries to services, goods, even maintenance, overall maintenance. Everything just spiked up, and it's really hurting small businesses, small business owners, and those who work within them. So my question is, what's your plan to help bring common sense back and help small businesses that got destroyed by Democrats after COVID and the Biden administration?
So, great. Because small businesses are actually bigger than big businesses when you add them all up, and it's very important. And sounds like yours, I would love your food. I can tell by looking at that guy. I think I'd like to go over there.
Damn.
I am. If I'm over there, I'm going to stop.
Just call him fat like that.
But the fact is that, they want to get away from gas. And I have friends, they're into the cooking world. I'm not. I just like to eat. But they're into the cooking. And I don't know how you feel. It sounds like they feel that gas is much better than the electric for cooking, right? And they have this thing about, they want to put gas out of business, right? No gas. The amazing thing? We don't have electric in this country, but we have all the gas you can use. We have oil and gas. That's what we have. And even the cars, if you look, they want to go with all electric cars. California is having blackouts every week, brownouts, blackouts, and then they come up with rules and regulation to go to all electric, but they can't even supply what they have. It's so nuts. We're going to get, number one, your utility costs. You heard me say it before. Your costs will be down, and we're getting rid of all the and if you want electric, great. And if you want gas, great. The only thing you can't have is a hydrogen car, right? You heard me say that, right? Because you know what happens? They have a new car, they say it's great, but it's got one problem. You know what the problem is? Every once in a while, one will blow up. And if it does blow up and you happen to be inside of it, you're in bad luck because you're not recognizable. Do you know that? It's the new thing, hydrogen. I said, no, thank you, I don't want it. I don't want. They called the wife, that's not my husband. Oh, yes, it is. It's no good. So if we get your energy costs will be down by 50%. Your interest is going to come down, and people are going to start to make, not only you, people will have more money to go to your restaurant. You're going to have a great business. And you know, during COVID, I was the one that worked out the loans. I don't know if you got one, but everybody, so many people got millions of small businesses.
He calls one of the heat victims fat. We haven't got to that part yet to even see like anybody passing out or anything, but it should be coming up pretty soon.
And Linda McMahon was the head of Small Business Administration, which was a big business, but she was the head, and she was phenomenal. Linda McMahon was phenomenal. So many people tell me about her that she was one of the best secretaries, but Linda McMahon was in charge, and they loaned billions of dollars out to people with small businesses, and it was the greatest investment we made. It stopped us from going into a 1929 depression, which is exactly what we would have had. And she did a fantastic.
She did a fantastic job.
We're going to get your costs way down.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. President, my state, I always tell people it's hot in the summer, it's cold in the winter, and it's a long ways to drive anywhere, which I think a lot of Americans are experiencing, that no matter what, you're energy dependent. And since Joe Biden has been in the White House and Kamala Harris has...
I think right here. Let me go back a little bit.
Thank you, darling. Thank you.
Yeah, here's someone passed out. We should go back to horse and buggy already? No, thank you, sir.
Some problems. That looks a little bad.
Okay.
That looks a little bit bad.
This must be where things fell apart. Unless they're panning out. See what's going on over there.
Don't worry, we'll extend for a little time, okay? We're not going to lose anything. We just want to make sure they're fine. This is a little bit of a tough one, I think. A little tough.
E-trike, huh? Let me see what that even is. That thing looks fun. Pretty sweet. Why are they breaking out in a song? Well, this is getting weird. All right.
You know, while we're waiting, so we had a beautiful evening, and I don't know if they could get this song up quickly, but if they could work really quickly backstage while we're waiting, Ave Maria. We had Ave Maria the other day in Butler, Pennsylvania. And Butler, we had 101,000 people. It was the most a celebration. Corey, I call Corey the firefighter, the chief. He was great. And if they could play Ave Maria, if you can get it, Justin, let's go if you can. The little quick notice.
So this is when he asked for music, which they made it sound like a little bit more awkward than what it was. Okay, I get it. There's like a medical thing going on. For whatever reason, they don't want to talk over this stuff. So he's asking for music.
Ave Maria.
So yeah, they just start playing music. I guess that's the thing, like, but they play it. Does it keep going? Yeah, it's still going.
So beautiful, though, right? That it's nice. He's going to be okay. We have nice music. We're together. Not bad.
Yes.
Not bad. Right?
No more questions, please.
So beautiful.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, everybody, very
Thank you,
much. That's
everybody,
very
for your
nice. Thank
patience. Yes.
Weird.
We'll be praying for him. Yep. Thank you, sir. Sir, as we talk about how things have gotten harder under this administration and how Kamala Harris's policies have been so dangerous for the American people, there's someone here tonight who wanted an opportunity to ask you a question. Her name is Heather. And Heather, would you please stand? She's right here, and
Hi.
she is so thrilled to be talking to you tonight, Mr. President.
Good evening, President Trump. My name is Heather, and I
So they're rolling again.
was a registered Democrat for most of my life, but not
They
anymore.
booed her. Boo, lady.
She's on our
Look
side.
at now.
Yes, I saw the light. I no longer identify with the Democratic Party. They've put criminals and foreign enemies ahead of American citizens. The border is the issue of this election because if we can't secure the border, we won't have a country. We know that you're going to finish the wall, but how are you going to handle the deportation of criminals?
So, if you've watched any of our last rallies, we have a Criminal Aliens Act of 1798. That's a long time ago. And it gives the president tremendous power to do what has to be done to secure our country. And you're right, so if you look at the polls, it says that the number one issue is the economy, number two is inflation. Let's even put them together. And number three is the border. I disagree. I think I do agree with you. The number one issue this country has.
Oh, someone's hurt again. The guy said, put the AC on. They got another one.
Do you want me to go tell them?
Yeah, he's saying open the door.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah, get some air in there. What are you fools doing? People dying. And then they flip on the music again. What the hell? All right, Trump walks off the stage. What's he saying? Ask one of my guys to come here.
Take your time, doctor.
There we go. Going back to your chair. Nope, he's still standing.
Please raise your hand. You know what we could do, though? If my guys can do it, how about we'll do a little music. Let's make this a musical fest. Oh, looky. Oh, that's great. That's great. Because it's nice and cool outside, right?
Yes.
It's nice and cool. Why don't we do, and I mean this, if my guys can hear me, two things. Put up the chart, my favorite chart. My all-time favorite chart. And let's listen to Pavarotti sing Ave Maria. Can you hear that? They gave me the Ave Maria with no voice. There it is. That's my favorite piece of paper anywhere in the world. I sleep with it every night. I kiss it.
At one point, he tells people to vote on January 5th.
And you see those numbers, by the way, for those that we talked about, the border. When you're talking about the border, look at the numbers. That was the lowest it ever was right there. That was the last day I was in office. And we're going to get it lower than that. But we're going to let people come in. So very, very important. But there's one of my most favorite. If I didn't turn to the right, I wouldn't be here with you right now.
Right.
Those people are just cooking down there.
So it's a sort of a cruel world. But I was very proud of that before the fact. Now, even if it had lousy numbers, I would love that piece of paper a lot. So put on Pavarotti singing Ave Maria. Nice and loud. Turn it up louder. We want a little action here. Turn it up louder.
Awkward. So he just cranks the music and waves his arms around, and that's the rally, or town hall rather. I guess he stands up here and starts swaying. And she's swaying with him, kinda. Pointing at people, giving them thumbs up. All right, we're back talking.
Pennsylvania, we win the whole thing.
Yes. That's right.
We're going to win. We're going to win. If we win Pennsylvania, we're going to win the whole thing, right? So
Yep.
Do you see what?
it's going to really be something. We just had some numbers coming out of Virginia, which is great. We have numbers coming out of, we win this Commonwealth. We win the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We are in clover, and then we're going to fix our country, and we're going to fix it fast.
Just Trump being Trump.
So get that song done.
Okay.
Get that song ready,
Got
and
that
when
song
we leave,
pulled
we're
up?
going to have a beautiful, you could just sit. And by the way, when we leave, you don't have to go so fast. You could sit and listen. We'll play a couple of songs. Some of you will be a little warm, but that's okay. It's not a bad thing. And if you want, we're going to do that, but I think it would be beautiful, don't you?
I think they all want to leave. They're hot, they're passing out, they're dying. What the hell is he talking about?
I think a little different.
I think it'd be amazing, sir.
Nice to have imagination. Isn't it a nice thing to have imagination? It's like when Kamala's teleprompter went out the other day.
Mm-hmm.
She was at 32 days. Did you see that?
I did.
She loses teleprompters, and you wouldn't know that she lost it. Me, I always lose. You know, if you're a politician, you can count on 5% of the time you lose a teleprompter, sometimes really badly, like in the middle of a sentence, and you're saying, ooh, that's a good, you got to have a good memory. If you don't have a good memory, you can't be much of a politician. But they go out. Sometimes if you're outside, the wind blows them down. I had one in Ohio. We had 45-mile-an-hour winds, and I said, I'm going to lose these suckers. And within about the first two sentences, they were gone. They
I remember
blew
that.
off the
I was
stage.
at that rally.
For Bernie Moreno, who's now doing very well, I understand,
He
the
is.
senator. So I think he's doing very well. But we'll listen to a couple of songs if you want, and that's okay with me. I like it. So we'll do that.
Nobody
We'll do
cheered.
those songs that we had mentioned, Justin. And if Justin doesn't get it right, he gets fired. Okay.
Sir, I have a quote that I like a lot by John Wayne. It says, life is hard, but it's harder when you're stupid.
Yeah.
I think that perfectly explains Kamala Harris,
Yeah.
right? Right, sir? Now, our life has been hard because of her, but can you imagine what it's like to wake up as Kamala Harris? How hard life must be? My goodness.
Well, we have to beat her. Look, we
do.
have to beat her. She's not for this job. Everybody knows
right.
it. Look, we're running against,
We're ready.
not her, we're running against a very powerful and a very corrupt machine. That's what it is.
That's right.
She's just, and the same thing with Joe Biden.
Let's see where this goes. So she,
Let's send President Trump back to the White House.
so they pull up the music, and that's it, I guess. People stand up. Yeah, you can tell they want to get out of there. They're all passing out. They're all dying. Nobody wants to just be there listening to music. There's no ventilation. Hello, how are you doing? I'm doing just amazing. And then he starts swaying again. And that's just what goes down here. We're just swaying now. And at least we're shaking hands, meeting people. Like, we got some music. Still going. Okay, this is pretty much ending it. Weird. Waving. Awkward smiling. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a little weird way to end a rally, but that's Trump, I guess.